ang umaga. Magpahinga, panaginip ang kaliligaya. Darating din ang umaga. Basta't tayo'y magkasama, laging mayroong umaga. Kay ganda, pagsikat ng araw, may dalang liwanag sa ating pangarap. Oh, haharapin natin. Gumising na, araw ng pag-asa'y narito na. Dumating din, haharapin natin. Oh, basta tayo'y magkasama, laging mayroong umaga. Kay ganda, pagsikat ng araw, may dalang liwanag sa ating pangarap. Haharapin natin ang sikat ng araw na may dalang liwanag. Gumising na, araw ng pag-asa'y narito na. Dumating din, haharapin natin. Basta tayo'y magkasama, laging mayroong umaga. Kay ganda, pagsikat ng araw, may dalang liwanag sa ating pangarap. Harapin natin. Haharapin natin. Haharapin natin.
Wow! That was a beautiful cover rendition of the song Umagang Kay Ganda. You first heard and seen it here. For our segment host, let's now call on one of Wright University's very own, Kat Aristurenas.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone, wherever you are tuning from. For us, we are here live in Manila. So, hello, everyone. We're live from Manila. So, again, we've been seeing some of your locations, but we'd like to request you once again just to type in the comments where you're watching us from so that we can greet you and show you some love. This afternoon is so exciting. We are here once again to celebrate another batch of the graduates of Sha Nacino's signature online course, the 90-Day Book Writing Challenge. There will be 19 individuals who will share with us their stories through the books that they have made. And it's a dream come true for all of them. To make this afternoon more fun, we, of course, here in Wright University, have games for you. So for this afternoon, meron po kaming dalawang games. So we have 2 games for you. So I will be explaining the mechanics. So please carefully listen. For the first game, post a picture of yourself in your Facebook feed watching this Filipino Author Summit and this book launch. Okay? Tapos, make sure po that your posts are public. So, dapat kung naka-private kayo ngayon, paki-change po in public. Bakit? Kasi para makita namin, para ma-search namin ang inyong post. And remember to use the hashtag Filipino Authors Summit. When you do this, you will get a chance to win the grand prize of none other than Sha Nacino's signature online course, the 90-day book writing challenge. So, pag nanalo kayo, pag napili namin ang picture nyo, you have a chance to win this for free. It's a full scholarship. So, yung pangarap ninyo na magsulat ng libro within your reach na pag nanalo kayo dito. And aside from that, aside from winning the grand prize, you will also have the chance to be part of our video highlights for this afternoon's event. Okay, di ba? Exciting yon. So, dalawang chances yon when you post yourself watching this book launch, this summit, you will have a chance to be featured in our video highlights and also win a full scholarship to the 90-day book writing challenge. Okay, may nakikita ako dito na nanonood from Leyte. Hello, Milka Lakaba. Okay, and Shay, I hope I got your name right. So, you're watching from Mandaluyong supporting Ma'am Geneva Eller. Yan. Okay, thank you guys for supporting your friends, the authors who will be graduating today. All right, second game. Ano ang second game namin for this afternoon? As you can see, we're live here, no? We're live. And what we'd like you to do is share the link in your FB feeds. Okay? Share the link and then tag your friends. Pag na-share nyo na, kindly reply sa comments below na done sharing. Okay? Para makikita namin. Bakit? May 5 winners naman ng libro ni Sha na Money and Me book. There will be 5 winners of Sha's Money and Me book when you share this live link. And you feel free to tag your friends as well, especially yung mga alam nyo na gusto maging authors din. Alright? So stay tuned. We'll announce the winners before the program ends. And if you want to learn more about the 90-day book writing challenge, please visit www.shanacino.com/write. So that's www.shanacino.com/write. Alright? Thank you, and I'll see you later. So, tandaan nyo habang nag-Filipino Summit tayo, just share the live feed and also take a picture of yourself. You can do that now while the authors are not yet speaking. So you can do that now. Take a picture of yourself. Remember to use the hashtag Filipino Author Summit and share. Make sure that your post is public. Let me see. May mga posts tayo ngayon sa YouTube. Bibisitahin ko lang Sandali. Joy Gulia. Hi, Miss Kat and everyone watching from Difon, Quirino. Hello, Joy. See you later. Okay. What else? Brenda Tagolgo. Hi, watching from Baroy, Lanao del Norte. Watching as a fan and supporter of Ma'am Sha Nacino. Thank you, Brenda, for your support for Sha and for Wright University. Yan, may mga nagda-done sharing na. So, Joanne Gozon, thank you for sharing. Susan Marcelo and Arlene Malagueño. Yan, may nag-watch din from Iloilo City. Hello, Mary Isa. Hello. You're watching from Davao. We're excited to hear what you say later. Ophelia from Sorsogon. Hashtag Filipino Author Summit. Alright? This is the time para mauna kayo, lumabas dun sa mga post, take a picture of yourself kung kailangan nyo ayusin yung mga surroundings nyo bago kayo mag-picture. Take this opportunity to do that. Alright? Kanina nag-take na ako, pero hindi niyo pa makikita ngayon. In the video na lang. Joanne Chu, Jessica Mary, watching here from Pasig, Misha. Thank you, guys. Make sure that you're sharing also live. Okay? And for those who just tuned in today, kasi last week we also had an event. Today is about book writing. Today is about launching your books, knowing how to market it, knowing how to write effectively. But last week, it was also about the Speak to Thrive Summit naman. Okay, and why am I sharing this? It's because, Sha also launched her first music video in that summit. So, ang video niya doon ay True Colors. So, if you have not seen it, if you have not seen her cover of that, I'd like you to just go to YouTube later after the summit and look at it also, okay? Kasi may mga magagandang messages, doon si Sha sa mga videos. And today, as you have seen, umagang kay ganda naman yung kinover niya. Alright? So, antabayanan natin ang mga susunod pang videos ni Sha. So, she's going to have more. So, stay tuned. Watching from, saan naman tong sila? Jean from sorry, sandali. Reset tayo. Iloilo City, the city of love. And Arlene, thank you. Thank you for sharing in FB. As Nia, a supporter of Kin? Okay. Ano pa ba? Standby kayo kasi we have 19 authors. We have 19 authors and they have super varied topics and we're really so excited to hear what they have to say. Who knows, yung sasabihan ng isang author doon will inspire you, will give you an idea of your own book. Diba? And of course, don't miss, we have a panel discussion happening in a few. All right? Okay. So just stay tuned. We've got lots of insights and learnings for you this afternoon.
Our first set of authors will be sharing their professional experiences and success and financial preparedness. To start us off, we have Lourdes Ibarra. Lourdes is a published author and UNWFP Multi-Merit Awardee in her humanitarian service. She worked with UN agencies, namely UNICEF, Office of Humanitarian Coordinator in Iraq and World Food Program, with Concern Worldwide and Ministry of Higher Education in 10 countries in Africa, Asia Pacific, and the Middle East. Her expertise and passion were in maternal and child health and nutrition, emergency response, community development, and academe. She loves trotting the world. To date, she traveled to 69 countries. After 4 decades working internationally, she retired. However, continues her advocacy as Nutri Talk host, nutrition coach, as she pursues her dream as an author. Please welcome Tita Lourdes.
A pleasant greetings, everyone. What inspired me to write my book? You may not believe it, but it was the pandemic last year that has inspired me. When many people get into depression, stress, lost loved ones, lost jobs, lost hope, and perhaps lost faith. It was, I believe, a perfect time for me to encourage and motivate people. What is my book about? My memoir, Being Unstoppable, is series of experiences packed in one book. It is about me rising from humble beginnings my struggles, my adventures, challenges, and to my professional success. It is about my stint in war-torn countries, my how I cope and manage harsh living condition amidst civil war, ethnic classes, and unpredictable security situation. It is also how I escape a near death experience, the car accident and bombings. Journey with me in these 10 countries as you turn the pages. How I met my Mr. Right. It is about my battle in surviving not one but two types of cancers. It is also the pain of the tragic loss of my only son, Peter Bren, and about my retirement. You will also find tips on how to be humanitarian and how to be unstoppable. I have always wanted to write a book, but I didn't know where to start, how to start, and when to start. So meeting Shia in the Toastmasters conference in Bacolod, it was Shia who encouraged me to write my book. For the reason, because I have a lot of experience to share, I have messages to send to the world, but enrolling in the 90-day book challenge, it has made me an author. Shia and the BWC team, my editor, layout, and the cover designer, a big thank you. And to all our viewers, know that you can also be unstoppable. How? Read my book and
Sharing their professional experiences and success and financial preparedness. To start us
packed in one book. It is about me rising from humble beginnings, my struggles, my adventures, challenges, and to my professional success. It is about my stint in war-torn countries, my how I cope and manage harsh living condition amidst civil war, ethnic classes, and unpredictable security situation. It is also how I escaped a near death experience, the car accident, and bombings. Journey with me in these 10 countries as you turn the pages. How I met my Mr. Right. It is about my battle in surviving not one but two types of cancers. It is also the pain of the tragic loss of my only son, Peter Bren, and about my retirement. You will also find tips on how to be humanitarian and how to be unstoppable. I have always wanted to write a book, but I didn't know where to start, how to start, and when to start. So meeting Sha in the Toastmasters conference in Bacolod, it was Sha who encouraged me to write my book. For the reason, because I have a lot of experience to share, I have messages to send to the world, but enrolling in the 90-day book challenge, it has made me an author. Sha and the BWC team, my editor, layout, and the cover designer, a big thank you. And to all our viewers, know that you can also be unstoppable. How? Read my book and enroll in the 90 days book writing challenge. So what else are you waiting for? Order a copy or more now. It is available in ebook and paperback. Just click the link in the order form in my book page, or simply send me text message or a chat message in Messenger or in WhatsApp. It is also available in the Amazon.com, both in Kindle and in paperback. So know also that when you buy the book, you also donate to educate more less fortunate girls and help support the abandoned elderly in Bacolod. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tita Lourdes, for sharing your amazing experience as a humanitarian. Our next author is Dr. Priscilla Signi Laconsay Agsalud. Dr. Priscilla served as the campus executive director for 3 component campuses of the Pangasinan State University, Pangasinan, until her retirement from public service that lasted for more than 41 years. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Education, BSc, majored in Biology, Master of Arts in Science Education, majored in Educational Management. She has been an active advocate of research that led to paper presentations in national and international fora and paper publications to national and international journals. A prolific writer, she published several books in natural sciences that are still utilized in the public and private academic institutions. Let's all welcome Dr. Priscilla.
Many government workers come to the end of their career with so much joy and contentment after having developed their full human potentials that enable them to serve others during their most productive years. Reaching the mandatory retirement age of 65, where you stay in good shape, is considered God's tremendous grace. As a way of paying forward, it is my earnest desire to share my journey of almost 41 years of rich and colorful experience as a teacher and administrator in the academy. I want to inspire my readers, the young and old alike, students, alumni, newly hired, the struggling employees, and those who are about to leave the institution that mold nestled their dreams and have given them the chance to practice their profession. This book, entitled A Teacher's Life, How to Lead a Fulfilling Career and Retire with Contentment and Pride, features the author's wonderful experience as a public servant. It is my primary aim to share life struggles, sacrifices, and the joy of working until my retirement. I have made my career as extremely interesting and shown that teaching job is indeed a noble profession and most importantly, fulfilling one. The 90-day book writing challenge has awakened my interest and passion in writing. It has challenged myself to write and publish a unique inspirational book which is totally different from the many reference materials I have written before. Sha Nacino is herself a living inspiration. With the many books she has authored and her unwavering desire to help others to write and create their own masterpiece. The 90-day book writing challenge seminar has provided me the basic and systematic ways to come up with a manuscript worthy of publication. I am truly grateful for this seminar. The learning experience is magnanimous. Gratitude goes as well to the editorial team who made possible the book best organization and its final output. May I now invite you to grab a copy of my book, A Teacher's Life. The physical book is available through the following media: Messenger and Facebook. Simply add Priscilla at Salud. My email address, priscillasigli@gmail.com. It is also available in Shopee. The ebook copy will be available soon. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Priscilla, for sharing your life as a teacher. Our next speaker is a former career executive service officer with a government agency and a professor in PhD management and MA in development management. Dr. Aquino has a wealth of experience in human resource development, having been engaged in employee selection, development, and performance management. These were supplemented by her exposure as volunteer leader of several HRD HRM oriented organizations. At different times, she played varied roles from which she gained leadership insights and experience. These include being a director of the UP Baguio Alumni Association, the president of the UP Baguio Management Sciences Alumni Association, a director of a consultancy group, and a committee chair of a regional executive association, among others. She joined the Toastmasters International in 1995, becoming the District 75's division governor in 2006, and earned the highest norm as Distinguished Toastmaster in the same year. She is a consultant lecturer on gender and development, strategic management, development planning, public speaking, technical writing, and completed staff work. She can be reached at jedidiah02@yahoo.com. Let's call on Jedidiah Aquino. Let's call on Jedidiah Aquino. Jedidiah Aquino.
Hello. Writing for me has always been a dream, but I never got to finish one until now. And that is why I'm very grateful to Sha Nacino for offering the course, the 90-day book writing challenge. I found out that I also have a message to share that could be helpful to others. My book is entitled Your Path to Job Promotion. It is intended for those who are wanting to go up the job ladder and also willing to adopt some changes in their work life. Basically, the book is about honing one's work competencies and manifesting work values, which can be an edge when one get to find himself in a job promotion competition. Okay, a study or a survey found out that there are 5 work competencies that managers and executives want to see among their staff. And these are communication through public speaking and writing, job knowledge and skills, delivering excellent results, leadership, and human relations. And this book, my book, provides doable tips. The in doable tips in honing these competencies inside and outside of the office walls. Likewise, the survey found out that employers consider the work values of what integrity, excellence, and commitment to duty as justification for a job promotion. And therefore, the book again offers practical ways and means for employees to apply these work values on a daily basis. We know that when competencies are honed and work values are manifested, then one's self-worth and self-confidence will grow. And if that happens, then we become, you and I can become magnets for blessings. And one of those blessings could be job promotion. So let me share with you information about getting in touch with me. You can contact me about the book through email addresses jedidiah02@yahoo.com, and that's jaaquino4@gmail.com, and through my Facebook account, j.aquino. So thank you and God bless.
Those were great. Surely many people will benefit from your tips on job promotion, Jedidiah. Up next, LV Azul is a licensed teacher with a degree in Doctor of Educational Leadership and Management. She has been holding an administrative officer position for the past 20 years. She is also known as an entrepreneurial leader, an optimistic and open person who faces life with a heads-on attitude that deals with whatever life throws at her. She loves to inspire others by sharing her experiences on how God intervenes in her daily life, enabling her to fulfill her mission. Publishing this book is her way of helping and inspiring organizations, particularly government organizations, to enhance their culture and motivate public servants to improve services and consistently attain clientele satisfaction. For more information, email her at lv_azul25@yahoo.com.
Morning means hope, so I usually greet good morning regardless of time. Good morning, everyone. Having almost years in the administrative sector of an organization, I have always wanted to share my experiences on leadership and on how a workplace can harmoniously function. However, I had also fear because I am aware that English communication is not my best. So, Sha Nacino inspired me to write this book. When I happened to see her Facebook page saying that anybody can write a book, even if you are not a writer, as long as you can write a sentence. After reading her post, I feel motivated and I thought that this is finally my chance to share my experiences on leading people in an organization. My dream may now become a reality. My book is all about developing leadership skills needed at work. It includes communication, creativity, relating with other people, and many more. In this book, I illustrated how important these skills are through my personal stories that contain wisdom based from my experiences and instances on how God intervened into my life. The book writing system introduced by Sha Nacino helped me in writing my book in the span of 90 days. Following said system, from the identification of my purpose in writing, allotting of at least 2 hours per day to write, up to the publishing of this book, all these were put in order with the help of the book writing challenge team. But I think one of the most important things to remember is to really put an action and every module required. My book is all about is applicable to all workers with different walks of life, whether private, government, or non-government organizations, and especially the leaders who really want or who really aim for positive transformation. I am encouraging you to get a copy of this book. You can contact me through my Facebook page or just email me at lg_asol25@yahoo.com. Thank you, Dr.
Our next author is Mary Kenneth I. Elumba, is a certified public accountant and a mother of three wonderful children. She lives in Tandag City with her husband and extended family. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from Mindanao State University, Marawi City. She was a corporate employee for more than 10 years when she decided to become a full-time mom and a part-time work-at-home mom. She loves writing, accounting, farming, and entrepreneurship, among others. She hopes to inspire you through her book to live the life you've always dreamed of with the people you love. Ken, come on down.
Hi everyone. I am Mary Kenneth Ibarra Ilumba, author of Retire Early and Live Your Dream, 7 Steps to a Fruitful Life. Let me share to you a photo of my family. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful children. I live in Tandag City, Surigao del Sur, with my family. I love reading books, and there was a deep longing in my heart that someday I would also write my own book. I smiled every time I thought about it because it seemed impossible then. Thank you so much to Miss Sha Nacino and her team. I am now a published author. Without the 90-day book writing challenge, this dream may have remained a dream. Thank you so much also to God. I'm now holding this book and I can already share it to you. This book is for mothers who want to spend more time with their children while fulfilling their dreams, and employees who have struggles in finding self-fulfilling jobs, and those who have difficulties in managing their personal finances. I shared 7 steps. The acronym is prayers on how to prepare for early retirement and how to live a fruitful and meaningful life. Prayers helped me a lot in my journey. The transition was so scary, but as I grow my relationship with God, who is the source of all wisdom and resources, it opened me to new possibilities and more blessings. I'm so excited to share to you my story or his story through me. You can grab a copy of my book at my website, marykennethilumba.com, or you can message me in my FB page, facebook.com/marykennethilumba. Thank you so much. Stay safe and may you live your dreams.
That was Ken with her book, Retire Early and Live Your Dream. Our next author, Homer Benoza Nukui, or Tito Homer, is a retired corporate executive. He now spends his time with his family and serving on advocacies. He completed his MBA at the De La Salle University. Tito Homer worked in multinational companies, Unilever and Johnson & Johnson. He retired as Senior Finance Director in October 2017 after 40 years. His main advocacy is with Angat Dangal Kainta, which empowers urban women in building their own capabilities to address their needs and that of their communities. Tito Homer lives in Kainta, Rizal with his wife, Jenny, and they're raised Jamie, Joyce, and Haji. Let's welcome on stage, Tito Homer.
Hi guys, I am Homer Benoza Nuki, the author of the book, 30 Days to Financial Happiness. I am a retired corporate executive, having worked with incredibly talented people from companies such as Unilever and Johnson & Johnson. My career spanned almost 40 years in leadership and finance roles, which culminated as Global Finance Director for J&J, where I retired in October 2017. For me, being retired does not mean doing nothing. Retirement means changing tires to begin another exciting journey in life. As Tito Homer, I now spend most of my time with my family and friends, serving our church and our community. I focus on my advocacies in empowerment, environment, and education. Being an author is one of the things that I can check off my bucket list. This book is one of my legacies to my children and their families. It is my journey to financial happiness. My experiences, those actions that I could have done better, and those I learned from others. In February 2020, when I was diagnosed with stage 3 prostate cancer, my mortality became more real. Thankfully, my doctors and by the grace of God, we caught it on time. I don't know how much more time the Lord will grant me, so I decided to pursue my dream to write this book and share personal stories that future generations of my family will read. I also hope that this book will inspire you, my readers, to pursue the kind of life that you dream of and allow you the ability to afford a balanced and fulfilled life. Focusing on financial happiness is also how I differentiate my book from the thousands of personal finance books already out there. What does financial happiness mean? Why do I need the descriptor financial for happiness? It is said that happiness is a choice. I have seen people smile and be cheerful, even in the most dire circumstances and amidst grinding poverty. Yes, they can and are maybe happy, but not financially happy. Those who choose to be happy, even if they are poor, accept their circumstance. It was not a conscious choice to be poor. On the other hand, being financially happy means having a balanced and fulfilled life. a life you have chosen, a life you dreamed about and willed to happen. Your circumstance or current situation was enabled by your financial capability and not forced on you by the lack of it. So if you want to know more on how to be financially happy, grab my book. I cannot end this without saying a big thank you to the book writing challenge of Wright University and Sha Nacino for helping me complete this book and providing a lot of inputs on how to make this a well-crafted book. If you wish to have a copy of my book, this is how you get it. Salamat, guys.
Thank you, Tito Homer. We appreciate your tips on financial independence. Our panelists. He is a best-selling author of patriotic books, including The 12 Little Things Every Filipino Can Do to Help Our Country and 500 Years Without Love. A former president and CEO of ISA, a public institute that implements and runs development and governance programs in various LGUs and NGAs, national government agencies like the Board of Investments, Civil Service Commission, Department of Trade and Industry, Armed Forces of the Philippines, among others. He is also partner and co-founder of the Malcolm Law Firm in Ortigas, Pasig City. Let's welcome Attorney Alex Lacson. Our next panelist is the President and CEO of Rampver Financials, a dynamic player in financial services specializing in investments and one of the biggest distributors of managed funds in the Philippines. He is a serial entrepreneur who is involved in diverse businesses and endeavors. He also serves as an independent director of leading PSE-listed companies in various industries. He holds a master's degree in business management with distinction from the Asian Institute of Management. He is a fellow with distinction at the Life Management Institute of Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and was a professional of marketing and computational finance at the De La Salle University Graduate School of Business, where he taught strategic marketing, services marketing, and strategy. He is also a business speaker for leadership and investments and author of 2 national best-selling books. He is also one of the mentors for Bo Sanchez's Truly Rich Club Platinum Wealth Circle. Welcome, Sir Rex Medoza. Myrna Tam Natividad, also known as Mommy N, received her award in London, UK as one of the 100 most influential Filipina women in the world in 2018, given by the Filipina Women's Network based in USA. She was also awarded as the first female entrepreneur of the year of Zamboanga City in 2017 by no less than the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI. What Mommy N is most proud of are the more than 20 business failures that she experienced, where she incurred a debt of millions of pesos. It was there that she learned all the lessons that she shares with all her mentees so that they will not commit the same mistakes and lose a lot of money as she did. It was from these mistakes and lessons that she discovered her formula for success. One of these formulas is the Grow Your Business Pinoy Roadmap, which she generously shares in her book entitled Grow Your Business Pinoy, your practical and proven roadmap on how you can make more money by doing less. Let's invite on stage Mommy N. Our last panelist is none other than the founder of Wright University, a best-selling author, a trusted global speaker on gratitude and creativity, and the founder of the 90-Day Book Writing Challenge. Let's welcome back Sha Nacino. The panel discussion will be moderated by Wright University's very own Kat Aristorenas. Aside from her work in Wright University, Kat is also an internationally certified Clifton Strengths coach. Her mission is to help other people embrace that they are wonderfully made so individuals can set their strengths and the world on fire. She does this through workshops on positive psychology, theology of the body, and through singing. Let's welcome back Kat.
So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, Attorney Alex, Sir Rex, and Mommy N. Thank you very much for being with us with Right University with Sha this afternoon. We are very honored to have you with us. All right. So our purpose together this afternoon for our panel discussion, um, well, just to backtrack a bit, in recent years, the self-publishing industry has been flourishing with the emergence of the term authorpreneur floating around. And so our purpose for this afternoon is really to be able to share your experiences, your insights on book writing and being an author so we can empower more Filipinos to realize their dreams of writing a book. And this is very much in line with the summit's name this afternoon, Filipino Authors Summit. But at this point, let me just address our audience. To our viewers, we have a very special panel this afternoon, and we'd really like to encourage you. If you have questions already in your minds about becoming an author, kindly comment them down below so that we can actually address them to our panelists later. If you have specific questions for our panelists as well, don't be shy, just type them below and we'll get back to them later. All right. So, to our dear panelists, let me address this question to anyone. Feel free to answer who goes first. It's fine. Before you wrote your book and became also national best-selling authors, have you always been a writer?
Who's answering first? Who's
Maybe
answering
the
first?
Feel
Alex may be
free.
the best among all of us, the best writer there is. I guess we all know who that is, Attorney Alex.
No, no, no. I was a writer of love letters before I. No, no, no.
Wow.
Because I was in PMA for more than 3 years in the 80s, late 80s, and at the time, of course, wala pang cell phone, wala pang internet, wala pang computer. And since I am from the province and nandun yung parents ko, nandun yung girlfriend ko, and nasa Baguio ako nag-aaral. And so it would take 1 month before the letter would arrive to me. So susulat ako ng mahabang nobela to my girlfriend, to my mother, and ganun yun parate. Ganun yun parate. So almost every month, I would write that. Then, but of course, in high school, I was a writer, no, but not really that, no. Then in college, I was also a contributor. Then, right after I became a lawyer in 1996, I became a columnist, the youngest columnist in Business World for 7 years before I wrote my book. Yeah, but I started as a love letter writer.
That's good to know, Attorney Alex. So, everyone in the audience, we can start with writing love letters, and then we can eventually evolve into national best-selling authors. So that gives us hope. All right. Anyone can go next, Mommy N or Sir Rex.
Yeah, I'd like to go next, no? Kasi nabanggit na ni Attorney Alex yung love letters, so nahalata yung mga age namin. So, yeah, I'd like to say that I was never a writer, but now that you mention it, Attorney Alex, ako naman sumasagot ng love letters. Wow.
Wow.
Sana all.
Yeah, oo. And sorry, Miss Sha, hindi na uso ngayon ng hindi na uso ngayon ng love letters.
Love
But during our
letters.
time, it was something we did. Pero ako naman, the only writing I did actually was to comply with the school requirements and sa pagjo-journal ko because that was my way of praying to God. So ang aking writing, it was really never intended for the eyes of other people except my boyfriend and myself. Yun lang. So, Miss Kat.
Opo. So, maghihintay po ako ng magsusulat sa akin para makasagot ako ng love letter. So, hopefully, kung nandyan ka man sa audience, nag-aantay lang ako. Di ba si Sha din? Nag-aantay din.
Mga retirees na yon, mga retirees na. Sila lang ang marunong magsulat ng love letters ngayon.
Yes. And Just at this point, no, I also recall hearing stories lang from my mom, no, even my lola, that she would receive these ang ganda po kasi parang flowery words,
Yeah.
no, from my lolo, and I think she even showed a sheet, no, to me, and I was really amazed because yung pagiging poetic nyo rin po, maybe that also came out there in your letters,
Yeah.
Attorney Alex and Mommy Ed.
Yeah.
What about Sir Rex? I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
A lot of people know me as a speaker, not a writer. I've always been part of events, conferences. I usually contribute based on industry platforms. But I wrote much like Attorney Alex. I wrote for Business World, but directed at investments and financial services. So maybe that's where I really started, but never never was there a time when I really thought I'll be writing a book. So the writing, I would agree, no, pero siguro much more relevant to speak about it now because Mommy N talked about it and Alex talked about it, the love letters, no. Alam nyo ba, the very first letter I wrote my wife to the last letter I just wrote her for Mother's Day. Kompleto yon. Nakalagay yon sa isang lalagyan and our children can actually open any and read any.
Wow.
That's I think what we had then that people don't have now. Kasi 'di ba pag emails, text na bura na, 'di ba kahit magaganda yung words, you can never go back to them. You know what's nice about those letters, even those cards, is that pwede mong ulit-ulitin. And that's the reason why, when you feel a little bad, sabi nga nila, depressing itong pandemic na to, all I need to do is to like take 2 or 3 of those envelopes and all of a sudden I'm taken to a cherished moment years before. So, mabilis yung recovery ng ating emotion because of that. I think that's what's missing. So, even today, we make it a point, even in the world of technology today, even our children, they write us letters. They write us real letters in their handwriting. Or minsan, hindi mo na maiiwasan talagang nasa computer, ipiprint nila dahil mas maganda daw yung print pag doon. Pero, kailangan nasa papel.
Kat, may I add a little?
Sure.
Para fun lang, para nakakatuwa.
Yes.
Kasi na-mention ni Rex ganda ng sharing ni Rex na yung mga letters niya sa wife niya nasa isang box and ganda ng story. But this is my story with my wife naman. Tag dito, when I was courting my wife, there were also 3 others na yung isa actually the son of BSP governor at the time, Bangko Sentral governor. Yung isa naman anak ng isang congressman. And here I was just a dormer, cheapest dorm pa sa UP campus and nag-jeep lang and the only vehicle that I have was my bike. I would just go to around, nagbo-bike lang ako. But I was good in letter writing and I was good in writing poems. So I wrote yung wife ko ngayon, poem after poem, and I think that's where I connected well with her.
Yan mo na makikita ngayon the power of the written word.
Yeah.
Versus the riches and maybe the fame that other people might have.
Yeah.
That's true. And I think the words that you write po in letters really leave an impression in the heart po, no? I mean, iba pa rin. Like, I also received a postcard, no? In the pandemic. I mean, I didn't expect to receive postcards from friends during the pandemic. And, there's nothing like receiving what you have sent to your girlfriends, to your wives, no? And to mommy, and dun sa nanliligaw din po. Or asawa nyo na rin ba yun? Ngayon, mommy.
Yeah.
So, yun. Okay. Sha, do you have anything to say? I know you like written notes.
I'm here to listen more. I would like to listen to them and hang out with them.
All right. So at that point, let me just go to our next question then. To everyone again, what inspired you to write your books? You have your own national bestseller. So what inspired you to write your books?
What's the order? What's the order? Who will say?
Anyone who's ready is fine.
Ladies first, mommy.
Sige.
You can go ahead, mommy.
Ladies first daw. Sige. So
Yeah,
mga ano
Mami
yan,
Ann.
kasi yung mga kasabay ko ngayon talagang yung mga lalaki nung sinauna, the gentlemen of our generation, always ladies first. So anyway, ako kasi it was really more on leaving a legacy for my grandchildren. Kasi medyo mahabang kwento, no? I was a teacher who became an entrepreneur, and because my husband and I, we were not educationally prepared for business, kaya nagkamali kami, no? Dami-dami naming mga pagkakamali, and walang mentors, hindi usong mentors dati. So nagkautang-utang kami. And yeah, long story. No, but anyway, it was only through God's grace that we were able to turn the business around. And sa dinami-dami ng mga lessons na natutunan ko sa process, so sabi ko, sayang naman no kung etong mga lessons na to mawawala lang. So I wanted to document the lessons for my children and my grandchildren, and naging burning desire yan para sa akin for so many years. Tapos nakita ko yung ad ni Miss Sha, and I knew that it was the right time. So at that time, yan, talagang I went for it and no regrets, no? And now I really wish I did it sooner actually. So yon, Miss Kat.
And Mommy Ann, I can see because I was honored to be part of the process of your book na nag-proofread ako sa book ni Mommy Ann, and so I learned a lot also, and I think from where you are, Mommy Ann, ang dami nyo na rin pong na-influence. You have your Mommy Ann channel. I don't know if that's the exact name, but I see you po in Facebook, and you've inspired, and I'm sure you've helped a lot of your mentees already.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me... Sir Rex, kayo naman po, what inspired you to write your book?
Well, it's Kat. It's almost the same, no? I think when you write a book talaga, the real inspiration is to have some legacy or significance. I think a lot of people know naman na, I had a very good corporate career. I became, a CEO at age 34. So hanggang naghang up ako ng corporate gloves ko, I've been CEO of several companies, no? From startups to big, multinational conglomerates. And then after that, I got myself also into entrepreneurship. So parang ang feeling mo, di ba, parang you can share it. It's a way of giving back. Para, tama yung sabi ni Mami Ann, it's makakatulong ka kasi hindi na kailangan ulitin ng iba yung mga pagkakamali mo. You can also tell them, all of your secrets. Total, I mean, there's technically what I realize is there's really no secret. As you share it, you become more proficient at it, and you help others. No. Again, also family. My wife and my kids pushed me. Siguro baka pundim-pundi na sila dun sa seminars namin every dinner time. Sabi nila, iba naman yung turuan mo, di ba? So, parang ganon, And ako, I will be remiss if I don't mention Brother Bo. Kasi si Brother Bo talaga yung nagtulak Talagang, siya talaga, he had all the patience in me because I kept pushing it back. I kept, I said I wanted to, but I didn't have the time, di ba? Sabi niya, you will never have the time. You will just have to try and do it. So, if I think about it, talagang yung naging inspiration is that drive to make a difference. Kasi alam mo naman, materially, wala na hindi na yan masyadong tinitingnan at this stage. More of how you can actually bless others, giving back. Yun talaga for me ang inspiration.
Galing.
Thank you, Sir Rex. And I'm sure you've also helped a lot by being one of the mentors po dun sa Truly Rich Club Platinum Wealth Circle ni Brother Bo. They're lucky to have you and to experience and maybe to get more insights from you in terms of growing their businesses or their finances as well. Attorney Alex.
Yeah, ganda ng experiences ni Mommy tsaka ni Rex, no. I I wrote my book at a time that when I was tempted to leave the country. Kasi umalis yung dalawang brothers ko na sunod-sunod after the Asian crisis in 1996 hanggang 1999, 2000. So kasi umalis yung brother ko with the whole family. They sold everything that they had and moved to America. Bumagsak kasi yung Philippine peso noon eh. 1996, it was only 1 peso to 26, $1 to 26 pesos. Then by 2000, it became parang $1 to mga 50. So almost nag-double siya. There was a lot of panic, maraming nagalisan sa bansa, including yung some relatives and some friends. I was also tempted. So my wife and we discussed it for 1 whole year. But after that 1 whole year, we decided to stay. But I was always worried. Sabi ko, okay, we stay. But what if 20 years later, lalong lumala ang sitwasyon sa bansa? And so, at saka yung 20 years na yon, dumating na yung last year, 2020. Compare mo yung 2000 to 2020, lumala ba yung bansa after 20 years? So yun, from 2000 2020. So so after we decided to stay, I told myself, is there something that I can do to help the country? So it was that reflection, and I realized that I was a writer because nagsusulat nga ako sa Business World, and I decided to write that book, yung 12 little things every Filipino can do to help our country. Because I believe in the power of small acts of love put together by so many people, everyone contributing little things here, little things there, small acts of love for the country. And I really want our country to progress. I really want the Filipino to become great and respected by other peoples and by other countries in the world. Kasi I had several experiences when foreigners looked down on the Filipino. I had a number of those experiences. The first one was during our honeymoon in 1995. We were yung boss ng wife ko sponsored our honeymoon trip to Europe, and nag-cross kami from Italy to Switzerland. May border yan, no? May border guards both doon sa may Italian guards and merong Swiss guards sa border. When we were about to cross, kasi sakay kami ng isang bus that bus was a insight tourist bus, no? So when we were about to cross that border, at nung nakita ng Swiss guards yung listahan ng riders doon sa bus, nakita nila may 2 Filipino at 2 Pakistani, pinababa yung 2 Pakistani at 2 Filipino. Kami lang. Remember, we were on a honeymoon. So kasama namin yung mga Singaporeans hindi pinababa, yung Japanese hindi pinababa, yung Chinese hindi pinababa, yung British hindi pinababa, yung iba foreigners hindi pinababa. Kami lang, yung Pakistanis tsaka ang Filipinos. Tapos nang nandun na kami sa baba, the Swiss guards were parang ini-inspect ka ba? And so they were asking, habang tinitingnan yung passport mo, why are you here? And what is your work in the Philippines? How long will you stay here? And kita mo talaga, maramdaman mo talaga na parang minamaliit ka. No? And later ko na lang na-realize kasi marami palang Filipinos from Italy na nagta-transfer sa Switzerland at nagti-TNT sa Switzerland. Kasi iba pala yung composition ng Filipinos sa Italy at the time tsaka composition sa Switzerland. Most of the Filipinos in Italy at the time were parang domestics. Most of the Filipinos in Switzerland were mga healthcare workers. So, mas mataas yung sweldo doon sa Filipinos. So mahigpit sila doon sa border and they wanted to protect na walang mag-TNT ng mga Filipinos doon. But I felt it and I felt the discrimination and I could not even defend my wife from that. And it stuck with me. No? Sabi ko, baba ng tingin ng mga tao na to sa Filipinos. So, yun. And there are airports na kung minsan, pumipila ka na, pag nakita nila na Philippine passport yung hawak mo, papipilahin ka doon sa kabilang line. No? I've experienced that. No? So, I have this desire in me. I really want to see our country progress, and I want the Filipino to become great and respected. And I believe that each one of us, bawat isa sa ating mga Filipinos, there is something that we can contribute. Small acts of love nga eh. Small acts of love for our country, and it would mean a lot. So that's why sinulat ko po yung book, yung 12 Little Things. And to my pleasant surprise, really nag-take off lang siya because I think the message connects with many Filipinos. Yun lang. So that's the story why I wrote the book. Thank you.
If I
Thank you,
may,
Atty.
if I
Yes,
may,
go
Kat,
ahead, sir.
I'd
Yes.
really like to add on to that because syempre, alam mo tong si Attorney Alex, medyo masyadong humble ito eh. Kaya kailangan dagdagan natin yan. You know, his book really made a tremendous impact. That book hit a lot of hearts, they hit a lot of minds. Alam mo, it's so simple kasi. You know, Attorney Alex, what's nice about your book is that we don't all need to be heroes to make this country better. You know, in what you've written there, simpleng-simple. Ako talaga, hanggang ngayon, hindi ko makakalimutan the number one thing that gets to my head all the time, yung follow traffic rules lang.
Yeah.
Doon pa lang sa follow traffic rules, siguro kung lahat ng mga Pilipino will follow traffic rules, our traffic will not be as bad. Maybe we will save more than billions in our daily amount of time and resources. So I think that's the reason why that book, kasi again, going back to books, Kat, I think we all have to understand it's the way it impacts our readers, the way it changes them, the way it makes them act. I think that's what I like about Attorney Alex's book. Unfortunately, in our country, sometimes those things don't get that appreciated. Or maybe we don't have the avenues to make everyone, all the stratas of society really get to it. No, siguro kailangan, yun nga, I think we're going to be chatting about this because I have proposals for Attorney Alex for next year. Again, Attorney Alex, sana naman.
Rex, you are like some of my bishop friends who are encouraging me to run. And some faith-based communities who are encouraging me to run.
So we'll wait. We'll see.
Kasi
We'll see what happens. Yes.
my latest book last year, it was 8 years in the making. It's my humble attempt to write a modern version of No Limitang Here.
Oh, wow.
So
What's
itong
the
latest
title,
book,
Attorney Alex?
500 Years Without Love. So it's actually 500 years without love from our leaders. It's in essence yun yung ano yun. So yeah, kasi without love from our leaders. So it's my humble attempt to explain to our high school students. So the book is written for high school students, but so it's easy to read, no? But it talks of the social cancer of today and the major root causes of our problems of today. But it is also full of love story. So there's a love story in the book.
Pero sana, Attorney Alex, sabi ko nga, when I read that book, and I might have to say, kailangan idol ka rin kasi ni Brother Larry Gamboa namin. In fact, your book was his gift to all of us, a mastermind ni Brother Bo. It was your book. No? So looking at that, alam mo na yung mga problema eh. Siguro kailangan we have to choose leaders who know the problems and what the problems really are so that they can provide solutions. Because if there is no real awareness of that problem, then we'll probably be looking for solutions that won't meet particular needs. So I guess that's the reason why people are asking you.
No, actually, Rex, because the last chapter of that book, I offered the solution. It's entitled A Dream Philippines. It's based on my studies of the 12 countries that I believe could serve as our model countries. There are specific policies and programs that develop their countries and their economies. And so I put it there. No? So that's why 8 years into making itong book because of the research. And so after reading that, some of them said, "Oh, Alex, so how do you pursue your Dream Philippines? Will you stop being a writer?"
And
anyway, I'm sorry. I think we're talking.
No, that's fine. That's fine because we really need to hear more of things that we can do, as individuals in our country today. And your book, Attorney Alex, can help us, di ba? Just simple things. Number one po sa book ninyo yung follow traffic rules, di ba? As mentioned din ni Sir Rex. I mean, little things like that. And even, I'm sure the insights that you have for the high school students. No?
Kat, if I may cut you, it's not little yung following traffic rules. You can follow that for one day, but try following that every day.
Yes.
And the challenge is really making it a habit so that doing it every day that you really follow. So that's the challenge. It's not easy.
It's the consistency, no, Attorney Alex. Yes. All right.
Simple,
And,
very simple, but not easy.
Yeah.
simple but not easy.
Easy.
Got it. Got it, Sir Rex and Attorney Alex. All right. And I think there are just some questions that we already addressed. No, somebody was asking from the audience, how long does it write? How long does it write? Sorry, how long does it take to write a book? So, okay, Attorney Alex, merong 8 years. I think it depends, no? I think it depends. Sir Rex, how about you? How long did it take for you to write your books?
If you're really going to look at it, it took me 4 years. 4 years for people to anticipate, the book itself. But me writing the book didn't really take long. I took 2 weeks. I think the real challenge is starting it. I have probably started the book for 3 years and 11 months. And then you wrote it on the last 2 weeks, right? So I think that's the challenge. And for me, it's very different, no? First of all, if it were just me, I probably wouldn't have ended up delivering on the book. I will have to say I give a lot of credit to the editors of Kirigma Books, notably Tess Atienza and later on Risa Kaupeng. No? Especially Tess. Si Tess yung parang pusher. I need a pusher who is going to nag me all the time. Kasi parang siya, promise na kami na mag-deliver yung book. So marami na nag-iintay ng book eh. But I am not moving. So talagang tulak siya, talagang painstakingly, with all the patience to push me. But it's the writing process that probably got to be so difficult. So maybe for some of our viewers, maybe this will work for you. I can't write. It's almost like pagkatas ko na isang page, ayoko na naman. So teka lang, trash na yan. So minsan 3 pages na ako and then parang mali yata yung umpisa. So balik na naman ako. You know what I did? And that's why I said 2 weeks lang. So I wrote myself a very good outline. It's much like my speech, much like I'm going to be talking at a convention. I wrote the outline for the book. And because I was going to be in Palawan, in a place in Coron, one of our friends in Mastermind, Ronnie Shai Soiko, they had a company conference. They invited me as a speaker. Pero ilang beses na ako nasa Coron. So there were 2 days na they were like island hopping. Hindi ako sumama. Ako lang ang naiwan in the whole island resort. I was alone because it was exclusive for their company. So when they're doing this yung island hopping, snorkeling, you know what I did? I put myself in one of the cabanas. I had an outline. And I just talked, recording myself on an iPhone. I recorded the entire thing on the iPhone. And then pagdating ko dito, pinatranscribe ko. After it was transcribed, it went back to me. I revised, reorganized, then gave it to Tess, who fixed it up a bit, then binalik uli sa akin, ini-stitch ko. So all of those just went so fast. Pero I think it's the initial stage that's really the hurdle. That's why momentum in book writing is really very important. So I think that's what I have to share with people. I'm not a patient writer. I'm not practically siguro yun nga, articles for Business World, madali eh. 1 or 2 pages, tapos ka eh. Pero yung book, parang it was daunting. So again, the big movers for me was having a partner, having a person who's going to assist and help me. And the other is, yun nga, the strategy. I just spoke. I just had a recorder with me. And then that's it. Eventually, it became the book.
Mommy Ann, what about you?
Yeah, ako, I
Any
totally
tips or how long did it take you to write
Yeah, I
your book?
totally resonate with Sir Rex. Talagang uupuan mo tapos tuloy-tuloy. I also started I was in the 90 days book writing class of Amisha. No, so she already prepared us for the groundwork. So may mga groundwork 'yan like writing the outline and all of those things. So sa outline pa lang nakakailang tapon na ako, hindi ako matuloy-tuloy. Tapos eventually dahil meron kaming mga target dates eh. So what I did was, okay, I have to finish this. So inupuan ko from the outline to the letter, less than a week. Tuloy-tuloy. As in every day I would write. When the moment I wake up, I will just break for food and then sleep. And then the next day, continue hanggang natapos and then hinga ng malalim. Tapos read it all over again, edit, and then from there, give it to my editor. So, ganon, mabilis. Kasi kung hindi matatapos. So, it's not really that difficult in the sense that it takes a long time. Unlike Attorney Alex, wala akong masyadong research because the book was
Yeah.
about my life and I knew my life best. So, lahat ng mga nangyari sa buhay ko, I committed it to paper. So, that's how fast it went. Yon, Miss Kat.
So thank you for the strategies now. Now I'd like to ask you, LJ Credo from our audience has a question. No? What was your greatest fear as an author that you were able to conquer? How did you conquer it and what was the result? So greatest fear, how did you conquer it and results?
Okay. Sige, simula ulit ako. For me, it's really yung self-doubt. Self-doubt. Yung self-doubt that sometimes you feel that you are not good enough, your message is not good enough, that and that your message will even be heavily criticized, yung feeling of fear of rejection. Yeah, diba? Kasi especially if you have already established a certain name as an author, di ba? Tapos and you're writing, ang feeling mo you must write something better than the previous one. So that's the challenge. That's a challenge. So yun, I think it's really the self-doubt, but prayers can really address that. Prayers, pang ano mo dyan is really prayers. Nothing else. For me, prayers. Yeah. To address yung self-doubt. So yun.
Sir Rex?
For me, the real fear was sharing my story because the 3/4 of the books, dalawa kasi yun no? So I had like one trailblazing success and I followed it by firing on all cylinders. No, technically it's just one manuscript. It's one manuscript. We just cut it in the middle because Brother Bo was saying, Rex, you cannot sell a 700-page book in the Philippines. No? Sabi ko, Brother Bo, you wanna try me out? Because I know I'm a good salesman eh. Kaya ko yan. Tapos, ang sabi ni Brother Bo, ito na lang, ito yung next hurdle. The Filipino normally doesn't read beyond page 250. 250 to 280, hindi niya nababasahin yan. So you will leave your book unread. So sabi niya, mas maganda yung bite-sized chunks. So, okay, so that's a bigger reason. So, sige. So, pinutol namin dalawa. But 3/4 of that is really all the learnings, all that. No? So, non-debatable yun. I think I'm very proud and I really know what I shared were true, they work, and anyone who gets to follow them will benefit from it. Ang worry ko talaga nung una, yung pag-share ko ng story ko. Because I shared my story, especially my childhood, which was tough because I know my sister and my brother will also read the book. Di ba? Kasi ako, ang umpisa ko talaga sa story ko, I'm the disfavored bunso. In a country where ang mahal na mga pamilya bunso, ako yung disfavored bunso kasi ako yung unexpected, yung akala nila kompleto na pamilya nila and then I came out para akong bonus na, okay, meron pa palang isa. My sister was the apple of the eye of the entire clan for 9 years. 2 miscarriages, hindi sila nagkakaanak, dasal sila, lahat. sayaw sa ubando, ganyan. In 9 years, may lumabas na firstborn son. Firstborn son. Okay, hindi ako yon. Yun yung brother ko. So, kumpleto na sila. Di ba? So, my challenge was growing up. I'm the disfavored one. Lagi akong rebelde, lagi akong ganyan. And I think I was saying a message that has to be resilience. So many times my father told me, and I shared it in the book, so many times my father told me, Rex, you're the only non-professional in this family. He was a lawyer, my mom's an accountant, my brother and sister are both doctors. He wanted me to be a lawyer kasi bata pa ako, madaldal na ako. So you're going to be a good lawyer. Nag-BA ako sa UP. Tapos sabi niya, bakit BA? Bakit hindi humanities? Bakit hindi, sabi ko, dapat corporate law. Niloloko ko siya parang corporate law. Pero actually, I passed the UP law exam. I took the tuition and ran away. Dalawang buwan akong hindi umuwi. When I came home, I already had a job. So talagang wala akong intention mag-aral ng 9 to 10 years, which is what law and medicine will be. No? Pero, to cut the long story short, afterwards, poetic justice. Because materially, I was blessed. I had a great career. And eventually, they live with me. My parents live with me. I provided for both of them until their exit in this world. So parang gusto kong sabihin, message ko kasi dun sa libro, ang ng dad ko is that a professional is someone who passed a board exam, someone who has studied a specific line or profession, di ba? Sabi ko hindi. Ang profession is someone who loves what he does and struggles each and every day to become the best at it. Yun ang totoong professional for me. That's my message for the book. Pero syempre, pag i-share mo yung mga mo, in fact, yung aking santol story, a lot of people, naglalakad ako sa Makati, nakakasalubong ko, Sir, nabasa ko yung libro mo, gusto mo, bili kita ng santol. Kasi yung brother ko, high school na yun, may yaya pa yun. Ako lang ang walang yaya. Tapos may nagregalo ng santol kasi favorite fruit ko, no? So may nagregalo ng isang kaing sa parents ko. Umalis sila, natira lang yung yaya, yung brother ko tsaka ako. The yaya broke one santol, gave me one seed. Diba? Siyempre, kakainin niyo yung tamis, diba? Maghapon na yun. Yung one seed na yun, that's the whole afternoon. Lahat ng buong kaing na yun sa brother ko na yun. Okay? So, hanggang ngayon nga, sa TRC at sa Light of Jesus, ang dami nagre-regalo na santol sa akin because of that. So my worry was, what? How will my family feel about this? And true enough, sabi nga ni Attorney Alex, prayers, alam mo, they really accepted it. Sinabi pa, nag-reunion kami dito sa bahay. Sabi pa ng sister at ng brother ko, alam nyo, totoo lahat yung sinabi ni Tito Rex. Ganyan. So parang even sila, proud sila dun sa process. Yeah. Because, we also had healing din naman as a family. At the end of the day, my father actually loved all of us. It's just that I wasn't favored. Pero hindi naman niya ako pinabayaan, di ba? Yeah. So, afterwards, parang naramdaman ko rin, yung palang fear ko, wala din, unfounded din. Kasi my brother and my sister really loved the books. They loved the story. They even instructed their children to read it.
Yes.
That's nice to know.
Ang galing-galing ng story.
Mommy N.
Yeah, sa akin naman it was self-doubt din. So, ang tanong ko talaga sa utak ko is, who am I to write a book, no? Who am I to write about business? Samantalang ang dami-daming mga successful na mayayaman na business owners out there, na mga kasamahan ko kung saan-saang organization, no? Pero it was really Miss Sha and my classmates who helped me overcome my self-doubt. Kasi si Miss Sha, gumawa siya ng community, kaming mga magkakaklase, no? And without that community, I'm sure I would not have made it. Ang una niyang ginawa was to make us own up to our identities as authors. And then, meron kaming chat group na araw-araw, napaka-active. No? For more than 90 days, araw-araw yan. We would encourage each other. Araw-araw. Pag gising ko, excited na ako makita yung aming chat group. hanggang nakatapos kami, hanggang naka-launch kami, even until now, we would still greet each other. So most of us, I think, reached the finish line because of the community. And other than that, no, na-overcome ko rin yung aking self-doubt kasi ni-remind ko, somebody taught me this, no, and I reminded myself that if God has placed this desire in my heart to write a book, siguro there is somebody out there, kahit na isa lang, no, other than my kids and my grandchildren, na isang taong kailangan niyang marinig yung aking message. Yung aking more than 40 years of sacrifices and more than 20 failed businesses, ang daming lessons nun eh, na wala sa libro. And I have not met anybody who is as stupid as I am to have failed for so many businesses. So I think I learned a lot of lessons there, and it was my duty to warn my fellow Pinoys about my mistakes. No, my heart talagang nasa Pinoys, and I resonate with what attorney Alex shared. Nangyari din sa amin yan sa Macau. Hiniwalay kami, not all the Filipinos this line. You have to go up there and go down. Maraming mga discrimination na gano'n sa ating mga Pinoy, and masakit para sa akin yan whenever we travel. So sabi ko, hindi pwedeng ganito na lang ang bayan natin, ang mga kababayan natin. No? And therefore, I thought, I really need to help a few of them to start businesses kung kaya naman nila. And then para hindi sila mag-fail, then they can learn from the mistakes that I have. So I needed to show them how to succeed in business, just like how I did. So yun, parating yun lang ang iniisip ko pag nagkakaroon ako ng self-doubt. Sabi ko, if I can only touch the life of one other Pinoy, siguro this is all gonna be worth it. And through it all, we were able to reach the finish line. So yon, Miss Kat.
Definitely, it helps po to, meron po akong narinig rin recently na parang be thankful or just cater to an audience of one. And from there pa lang, madami ng blessings na darating. Sha, would you like to say anything about this as well?
Yes, I really enjoy listening to Attorney Alex, Sir Rex, and Mami N. Siguro in my case, when I was starting to write a book, when I heard the call from God to write a book, it was such a burden for me because number one, I was not a writer. I really had no talent in writing. I was a math person. And number two, I hated writing. It was so dragging for me. In fact, when I was in college, I shifted to another course because I was so tortured by the so many writings in my previous course, public administration. So that was my burden, and I was just writing because I felt like I was just obeying God, and I was doing it out of obedience. And then later on, in the process of writing my first book, I really fell in love with writing. So I thought I was serving God by following His will for me, but it was actually Him who did me a favor because I found my passion, I found my joy.
Great.
That's a wonderful story. And I think we have just to, we have a question related to this discussion from Rosette Resurrection. She noticed that the first batch of graduates who already talked about their books are accomplished persons in their respective fields, thus must have much to share. Will an ordinary employee who does not have any doctoral degree be able to write a readable book? In your opinion, our panelists, diba, from our discussion, an ordinary employee, okay lang ba po silang magsulat ng libro kahit wala rin pa po silang credentials katulad ninyo at katulad ng mga authors natin?
Sige, Kat, because I think it's actually self-doubt. If you analyze that question
Yes.
is a self-doubt question.
Goes back to that.
You must believe the inner voice in you. Diba? You must believe the inner voice in you and let that inner voice speak to the world. So I think you must really conquer that self-doubt, and only you can conquer that self-doubt. Pagdasal mo lang, prayers yan, prayers.
Prayers
And the Lord
sent.
will strengthen you, yeah.
Yes, that's true. Okay, we have another question from the audience. Actually, this is also graduating today. From Mayette Casanova. What do you think is the future of ebooks and audiobooks for the Philippine or Filipino audience? So on the business side naman po of maybe selling books or the self-publishing industry, do you have any thoughts?
Kat, I think it's going to be part of the landscape. No, we cannot avoid it anymore, especially during this pandemic. No, it's so hard to get by. Receiving the or getting a delivery of the actual printed form. No, at times it can really be very convenient to have the ebook and the audiobook because let's face it, not a lot of people are readers. They don't want to read. At times, even ako parang minsan sometimes it gets to touch me really well if the author is actually reading me his book, especially when it gets to a certain degree of emotions also that he shares as he reads it. But I guess the most important thing is reach, especially with the likes of Amazon, the likes of all of these online platforms, 'di ba? Parang I think the writing is on the wall. We can see it on the business side to it, as you mentioned. To tell you frankly, National Bookstore has cut down the load or probably the kind of inventory that they have of written books. They have. If you're looking at the shelves before to today, there's a big difference. So talagang alam mo that there is a shift towards online, there's a shift towards digital. So ako, my suggestion to a lot of people who write, do it on both platforms. It's a matter of format anyway. You can let people help you on it.
Mami N?
Yeah, I totally agree. No, lalo na ngayon, tulad ko because my eyes are not that good anymore. Pero marami namang mga software na pwedeng basahin niya kung ano yung nandoon. Kaya ebooks are okay for those people who would rather have a physical book. Okay din 'yon. Kaya I don't think there will be a problem sa market niyan because knowledge is knowledge, no? So marami tayong makukuha sa mga books na hindi natin makikita sa YouTube or sa Google. So it will continue to be profitable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kat, ano siya, if I base it sa mga kids ko, my eldest is 24, the next one is 22, the next one is 20, the next one is 16. No? So all of them, may nagbabasa din ng mga tawag dito, yung mga e-books doon sa ano, no? Pero at the same time, each one of them also collects yung paper copies, yung physical books. Kasi iba pa rin yung may physical copy ka eh. There is a certain touch to it, di ba? Na ganun mo siya, yeah. And I think that's the attitude of my kids, and maybe that's the attitude also of reflective of the attitude of many other kids out there. So I think the ebook will have its share, but the physical books, they will also have their share.
They have their own unique touch po, I think, for the readers, no? And it depends on preference as well. I share the same sentiments of your kids, Attorney Alex. I still prefer talaga po the hard copy kasi nag-circle pa ako.
Correct. Nag-notes ka eh.
Opo. So, yon. I think an advantage lang, napansin ko rin po sa ebook, pag sobrang dami mong notes, pwede ka naman mag-search, di ba? Hindi mo lang magagawa yun sa physical book. Yon. All right. Okay, so we're nearing the end of our time together, no? We've been having so much fun, but we want to ask you, for our last few minutes, what's your advice, our dear panelists, for aspiring authors?
Yeah, ako.
Go ahead,
Kat,
Marian.
no? Yeah. So, ang advice ko is, the desire to write a book, no? Pag nagtatanong ka man lang ngayon na, is it for me or is it not for me? Actually, para sa akin, yung desire na yan is a call from God. Dahil you have a message to share, to quote Miss Sha, no? Kaya para sa akin, the earlier you listen to that call, the better you will feel. Kasi kung hindi, kukulitin ka niyan, no? That call will become louder and louder if you continue to ignore it. So, some of us, we just need to find out, we really have a need to find out, paano yun? How can this be? How can that be? So, ang advice ko is you don't have to know all the steps. Dahil this will be revealed to you step by step. So don't worry about the end point. Step by step lang, and just take the first step and then the next and then the next, and at the end you will get to your book. So you won't regret it if you do it that way. Promise, Miss Kat.
Okay, so heed the call to write a book right
Right.
now. Sir Rex.
For me, always focus on the purpose, no? You will always have a purpose and a goal for writing a book. Eh. As I referred to the question earlier, the fact that you're having this desire to write means that you have a perspective that other people might not have. So yes, you might not be accomplished, you probably won't have enough credentials. I'm so sure you have an angle on something that's going to be very unique. That's something to be particularly yours that you can share with others. So if you're going to be thinking about one, the people who will benefit from reading your book, the people who can probably learn from you. The second is like the impact also on your loved ones. The fact that your legacy and significance is going to be set because you have something tangible that will span generations. Kasi nandyan na eh, libro na yan eh. It will be a generational heirloom as well. What I advise a lot of people in getting through this is, again, is the control of some kind of discipline. Eh. Kasi ako doon talaga ako tumagal. It's really the procrastination. Lagi naman talaga magkakaroon ng problema. Laging may other priority ka, laging mas may urgent na gagawin. But you just have to build momentum. This, book writing is a game of momentum. What do I mean by that? I mean, momentum is driven before you even write the first word. Alam mo yun, yung may kinausap ka na, you're already collaborating with someone, you're already thinking about the title or the topic, and then nagkuha ka na ng course, and then you're part of a certain community. You're building up the eustress around you. It's not stress. Stress is negative. Eustress is a positive kind of push, and you get that from all angles. As you build that momentum and that drive to work on it, then yan na yan, dire-diretso na yan, no? In the end, ako sa akin, malaking bagay is the declaration. When I said, I will be launching that book in the Kirigma Conference of 2018. Kung natatandaan mo yun siya, di ba?
Yes.
Alam naman natin when the Kirigma Conference happens, it's November of every year. Pero ilang Kirigma Conference ang na-miss ko, di ba? But when I said 2018, lalabas yan. O yan na, iniintay na ng mga tao, di ba? Siyempre, imagine, you will let everyone down if you don't have it. So declare it, have a deadline for yourself. Tapos hindi lang ikaw nakakaalam. Kasi pag ikaw lang nakakaalam, you can easily move the date. Eh. Pag marami nang naghihintay, di ba? You cannot let everybody down. In fact, your own loved ones, you cannot let them down. So yun na, pareho kami ni Mami and talagang 2 weeks lang yan. Talagang gagawan mo ng paraan para mangyari. Thank you.
That's true. Mabilisan talaga pag kailangan talaga pag naka-declare. Attorney Alex.
Yeah. There was this poet who said that there are no two leaves that are the same in a forest. Yeah, and there are no two persons that are the same in this world, despite the fact that we're almost 8 billion, more than 8 billion. So the light in your heart is unique, special, and that's your own. And the voice within you is unique, it's special, so that's your own. So believe that unique light in your heart, believe in that inner voice within you, and let that light shine to the world, and let that voice speak to the world. Remove the self-doubt. Yun lang.
That's wonderful. So
Yeah.
shine your light through your books. Okay, final question. If you were given 30 seconds to share a message to the world, what would be that message?
Me? Ako ba mauna?
Pwede po. 30 seconds. Yeah, sorry,
30
30 second message.
The world is getting darker and darker every day. Let's fight and use the light within our hearts and enlighten the world. Yeah.
Mommy Ann?
Ganda.
It's business for our country is a way to go. So if you can start a business, then go ahead and start your business and grow your business for our country, para sa bayan.
Okay. And Sir Rex?
We are champions. Eh. We know we are. I mean, we just realized it now. We have a new hero. But again, much like Mommy N and what Attorney Alex would have mentioned, sometimes the Filipino doesn't believe in himself. Eh. I think that's the first big step in making sure that our country becomes a prosperous and successful one. It's all about a self-fulfilling prophecy. What's in our minds will become our reality. So whatever great ideas you have all out there, let's write, let's share, and we become better people altogether.
Let's write and let's share.
Yes.
Now, Sha.
Ganda. Oh my
Ganda,
gosh.
ganda.
I'm so overwhelmed by all the sharings of Attorney Alex, Sir Rex, and Mami N. And I echo what you said. So for me, my 30-second message would be, you can be anything you want to be because you are worthy and you are loved.
Oh, that's
If you want to be a speaker, a singer, whatever it is you want to be, you can be that person. Believe. Really believe in that. And at this point, we just want to thank you, our dear panelists. We are so grateful that we are surrounded by people who are so supportive and loving. These are really giants and they're so busy in their respective professions, but they really took time to share. Parang for me, and then na po kayo sa stage na you really want to share and make a difference and you really want to give back. And we're so happy and honored that you really made time for this, for our audience. And you inspired a lot of people who also want to write their own books and who want to make a difference in the world. I see a lot of comments. Pinipigilan ko lang po yung iyak ko, pero ang dami ko nakikita na comments dito thanking you, our dear panelists. So we're so grateful for you and we're so grateful that you made time for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank
It's
you.
an honor.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
It's an honor,
It's an
Sha.
honor for us as well.
Pleasure to
Thank
share the stage with Rex and Mami Myrna and all of you, Kat and Sha.
Thank you
The
po.
pleasure
Thank
is
you
really
so
all
much.
mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, well, we end our time together with our panelists, but you bring with you, our dear audiences, their insights, their experiences, and their inspirations. Now we move on to the rest of our graduates this afternoon. See you later.
If you want to connect with our panelists, so my team, one of the members of my team will put their links, their social media account links, so you can follow them and you can connect with them.
Yes. And also for their book, no, may nagtanong rin bago tayo mag-ano. Kay Attorney Alex, so 12 little things every Filipino can do to help our country and 500 years without love. Kay Sir Rex, trailblazing success and firing on all cylinders. And kay Mommy N, grow your business Pinoy, your practical and proven roadmap on how you can make more money by doing less. So look for them in your favorite online stores or physical stores. Thank you.
First batch of authors. So many interesting topics to read about and ponder on. For our next video, we would like to share with you a milestone event that happened last week. Last Saturday, we had our first ever Speak to Thrive Summit, where 25 graduates from Sha Nacino's 90-day Speak to Thrive Challenge showcased their speaking skills. This afternoon, we are sharing with you the highlights of this event. From the host and founder of world-class summits like the World Gratitude Summit, HR Summit Global, and Global Author Summit, Sha Nacino, together with her team at Wright University, are once again proud to host the first ever Speak to Thrive Summit. And welcome our global speakers from the Philippines, Singapore, Australia, India, and Ireland. In this summit, you will also get to listen to the messages of the graduates of Sha Nacino's signature online course, the 90-Day Speak to Thrive Challenge.
Today is about choosing words that work. You don't need to find your voice. You already have a voice that you use every day. You already have words that you're comfortable with, and you can use those, and that's enough. This is Fred, and he needs to give a speech, and he says, I need to sound like a public speaker. I need some impressive words. No, Fred, you don't need to sound like a public speaker. All you need to do is sound like Fred. The best public speakers are those who, when they get on stage, they don't change their language, they don't change their personality, and you can trust your everyday language because it's worked for you so far.
Well, I think I'll speak less than I used to do earlier. When you want to be a better speaker, you need to be a better listener.
Aside from taking note of what people say verbally, we also need to take note of the non-verbal cues. This is actually also a part of communication.
To listen to what people are not saying but want to say, and also listen to the underlying thoughts, feelings, and inspiration behind what they're saying.
Speaking is never about the speaker, it's about serving the audience. So the most important role of a speaker is to love the audience. But for you to be able to go to that point, you need to learn to love yourself first.
A setback, a challenge, a failure is not end of our life. Setbacks are awesome, and if you don't have setbacks, you're not growing. Only when you have setbacks, you're really growing, man. So have setbacks, embrace it, right? And just learn your way through it. You will see you have grown.
I really believe that we can see a first world Philippines in our lifetime where walang iwanan, no Filipino is left behind. And I really believe that the foundation of this dream, ang pangarap, is this belief that the Filipino is worth it. The Filipino is worth dying for. And gusto kong manatili dito sa Pilipinas. So I want to stay in the Philippines because I want to be a catalyst for more and more Filipinos to reach their dreams. All Filipinos are first class. And this country is going to go through amazing transformation in the next few years, and I'm so excited to be part of it. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Communication is so important. If you want to thrive in your personal life and in your professional life, it is so important to build your communication skills. My one big message for you is this: you have what it takes to be a great speaker. You have what it takes to speak with confidence and competence. Maybe you don't see that right now in you, but I do. I see that in you.
May this song remind you that you have what it takes to be whoever you want to be. If you want to be a speaker, you can be a speaker. If you want to be a singer, an author, whatever it is you want to be, you can be that person.
And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. The true colors are beautiful, oh, like a rainbow. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. The true colors are beautiful, oh, like a rainbow. Oh, like a rainbow.
We hope you enjoy that.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ariel, and God is within me. Somebody says you have to do these three things in your lifetime if you want to leave a mark in this world. Number one, plant a tree. Number two, write a book, which I think you already did. And lastly, raise a child. So that triggered me to enroll and pursue my dream in writing my book. Little did I know that joining this program 5 years ago will lead me to the most beautiful surprise that God had in store for me. It was December of 2017. My sister attended a Christmas party with my book as her exchange gift. Then there was this woman who came in late, saw the book, and asked how to get a copy. The woman was drawn to the title of the book because during that time she was discerning and exploring her faith. So the book that I wrote is entitled Move Heavenward. 3.5 years later, I now get to call that woman my lifetime teammate. We recently got married and now enjoying our new season as husband and wife. Congratulations to the graduates. I am very excited in what God has in store for you. To the aspiring authors, give your 5 loaves and 2 fish. Write that book and let God surprise you. Sabi nga ni Sha, di ba? Sabay-sabay tayo mga co-authors. Write because you care and you have a message to share. Again, congratulations everyone. And of course, to our mentor, Sha Nacino, thank you for doing this.
Discussion. Thank you again to all our panelists. Let's begin with our next set of authors who will speak about grief, grace, acceptance, peace, and triumph. Despite being an only child and getting separated from her parents at the age of 12, Mayette's desire to become a Manila girl and have whiter complexion pushed her to aim for a Manila education. From an all-girl high school, she went to a university where she joined a Catholic charismatic community called Servants of the Lord's Vineyard, SOLV, where she met her husband. After working for an airline for 23 years, she left the corporate world and finally completed this book. She hopes to meet Pope Francis one day and personally give him a copy of her book. Let's welcome Mayette Talento Casanova.
Hi everyone, I am Mayette Casanova and I am the author of the book entitled Discovering Peace Amidst Trials, How Our Life Lessons Reveal God's Faithfulness. What inspired me to write a book was my desire to create an impact in the lives of other people and to console those who are undergoing trials and difficulties in their lives and those who are troubled because of worries and anxieties, especially during this time of pandemic. In this book, I will share about my life stories and how life lessons have revealed God's faithfulness in my life. And as we go along, I will journey with you, the readers, to find for yourselves and look at your own lives and see that God is faithful to you in every stage of your life. And in discovering God's faithfulness in our lives, being at peace, being confident, staying composed are possible because of that truth. And so the book writing challenge course of Ms. Sha Nacino helped me to finally write a book, something, an achievement that I never thought it's possible in my lifetime. And so this is the product. This is the product of that course. This book will soon be made available both in print and in ebook. I made it affordable for your friends and family, for you to give it away for your friends and family. The print costs only 250 pesos and it will be made available through Shopee and Lazada. While the ebook will cost 200 pesos and it will be made available through Google Play Books. So I hope that you can grab a copy or two and be blessed by this book. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mayette. Our next author is Gemma Bp. She is a teacher at the Department of Education, Cordillera Administrative Region. She is currently with Pinto National High School, where she teaches language and literature and other related subjects in the senior high. She recently developed complete modules in creative writing, which were utilized during the first semester of school year 2020-2021 in the division. She is a believer of Charles Dickens' words, "One always begins to forgive a place as soon as it's left behind, for beyond the roughness of experience are great lessons of life." She lives with her family in Lagawe, Ifugao, Philippines. Let's call on Gemma.
What really inspired me to write is actually my love for reading. This is the only entertainment I give to myself. That's why I read a lot. And I'm really amazed with people who can just organize their thoughts and their experiences and their feelings and put them down on paper, and they are helping us a lot. So I also want to write, I said I also want to write a book one day so that I can share my experiences and maybe help others to recover from their stresses, from their problems. I enrolled in the 90-day book writing challenge. So let me just share to you my screen so I can show you the books that I was able to write. Okay. So this was the course, the 90-day book writing challenge, and the theme was how to write a book even if you're not a writer. And this is me. I am not a writer, but then if there's a seminar saying that I could write a book, and then why not take the chance? So I took the chance. So I consider this book writing challenge the realization of my dream. And this will remain to be an experience of a lifetime. I will never forget this, and I will continue writing as I have taught how to do it in the best way possible. Okay, so I was able to come up with a book entitled The Right Therapy for an Empty Soul. This is where I put all my experiences in writing, and actually the reality that if you write, you're able to relieve yourself from stresses, and you will find your soul whole again. Because if you are feeling that you're very empty, when you read this book, you will find that everything is there and God is there with you and for you. Okay? But my main book is actually Breaking Brokenness. So if you want to read this one, I'm telling you that you will confront yourselves. You will be telling yourself, you'll be asking yourself why you have a problem and how you can solve that. Because there's no other person to help you if not you yourself. You alone can be it, or is the most instrumental, the most significant person who will be instrumental in solving your own problems. Okay, I also have one book entitled The Darkest Hour. It is just a collection of my funny, nostalgic anecdotes. I kept them all in my journal and I just put them all together for reading. It talks about the effects of ignorance, how funny they are, and if you want to teach your children the importance of education, this is the book for you. You will laugh really when you read this. So grab a copy now by going to my Facebook author page, facebook.com/70gems, or visit my website, gembp.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Gemma, for sharing your story with us. Our next author has been an educator for 30 years. She rose from the ranks being a teacher, a subject area head, an academic coordinator, and now the dean of the Graduate School of a Maritime University. In the area of research, she was given a chance to present her papers nationally and internationally. She is also an advocate of mentoring programs, peer mentoring, mentoring the mentors, and mentoring the community. Geneva Eller, come on down.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here at the launching of our books. I am Geneva Eller from Iloilo City. May I share my screen? Welcome to Iloilo City, the city of love. Yes, Ilonggos are known to be loving and malambing, right? But I would like to focus on love. There are lots of definition of love. Love is a many-splendored thing. Love is hard to find, hard to keep, and hard to forget. Love makes you happy, but sometimes love hurts. Why I am sharing this? Because the book I wrote was inspired by women who fell in love and became widows. This book is entitled Widow's Journey from Grief to Grace. It is an inspirational book wherein it tells everything about love, grief, fear, and survival with God's grace. It has a message and again after each story. It also a sharing of stories in a way that it will help widows to cope with life, especially this pandemic. Another is how to keep a decent living for their children. And it can be for their personality development and also for their professional upliftment. What struck me most in my 90-day book challenge journey was that the experience is not only for real, but real, in the sense that I have to start from scratch. And I was inspired when Sha Nacino mentioned about you're right because you care and you have a message to share. Another one was at first I have no direction, but when I reached module 1.6 on writing tips and patterns, I said to myself, yes, this is it. It helped me continue writing and focus on my topic. So natapos na rin. Ito na. It was published by Right Conversations Publishing and Consultancy with ISBN number. So I'm inviting you to grab a copy of my book. It is a printed copy. And you can email me at avinigrele@gmail.com, or you can contact me in my Facebook, Gen Eller, and my cell number 0920-4358-770. For this, thank you very much and mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you, Jen, for sharing your journey from grief to grace. Let's go to our next author. Karissa Gracia is an AB Broadcast Communications graduate of the University of the Philippines. She worked for a television show after graduation and in 2 banks after her TV stint. She is now based in her hometown where she manages the family office and commercial spaces for rent, their ranch and farm. She has a collection of writings, and this book is the first that she is publishing. On the author's behalf, Tess Domingo, the editor of Karissa's book, will be with us today. Tess!
Thank you for that introduction. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you may be viewing this video. Yes, I'm the editor of my sister's book, and she helped us a lot in having this produced from the writing, publishing, and marketing side of it, and now we're having this launch. So let me show you how the book now looks like. This is it, Facing My Rainbow, that's the title, and subtitled Liberating My Mind at 60, because my sister is releasing this on her birthday, and her pen name is Karissa Gracia. So this book, this is the back cover, and it shows this design, a profile of the face with a lot of thoughts. And this is because of my sister's story, which is a 40-year journey as a person with mental disorder. And that book takes you through her life, starting from the idyllic province where she grew up to UP where she studied, to TV station where she worked, to England where she had her exchange program. So these are the blurbs, and you can't read them. So may I show you? One's coming from Marites Dangilan Vitu, author and journalist, who said this book is about courage and hope. And of course, Sha, who said individuals with mental illness can be productive and have meaningful lives. It takes courage, support from other people, and reliance on God to move through life with mental illness. And Marilen Dangilan Vitu, Marilen Dangilan, sister of Marites, did the foreword, and she said, she quoted my sister saying, these are wise words that could be for each one of us when she said, spirituality in the end surpasses mind, heart, and body afflictions. So that's quite long, but here it is. If you're interested, Facing My Rainbow by Karissa Gracia, you may email us at info@roygbbookpub.com or visit our website at roygbbookpub.com. So I hope you got that, and may you find your rainbow too and your pot of gold at the rainbow's end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tess. Our next author is Shimmering Tala. Shimmering Tala is a young professional, freelance online executive, and a former overseas Filipino worker in UAE. She graduated at St. Louis University with a degree in BS Industrial Engineering. She is the author of the book Ground Zero, Finding Your Way Out of a Dead End, which was inspired by her own story and journey towards a new beginning. She joins various charity drives and started Together Journey Project, a program to help the less fortunate. She is also a visuals creator and a host. Tala is a daughter, a sister, and a friend. To share more of her story, let's call on Shimmering Tala.
What a lovely day, everyone. I am Shimmering Tala, author of the book Ground Zero, Finding Your Way Out of a Dead End. Let me share you a brief story and the background on how and when my book started. Few years ago, I've experienced the saddest moment of my life. It was an earth-shaking tragedy that changed the course of my journey. Life is about loving and losing. And losing what is precious to us can actually lead us to our life's own dead ends. My life collapsed, my dreams ended, and I found myself in a total darkness. One day, I just found myself wandering around ground zero. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. But that ending allowed me to share God's victory and message to the world. I'd like to thank this program, 90 Days Book Writing Challenge. Why? Because it allowed me to kick off my writing journey and inspired me to share light and hope to the world. Ground Zero is intended for the people who feels lost, for the people who are in the edge of life. These people who went through an earth-shaking tragedy that led them into their own ground zero. And looking at the world right now, a lot of people are asking, how am I going to begin? Someone lost a job. How am I going to begin? Someone was ill. How am I going to begin? And in this pandemic, I've lost someone I love dearly. How am I going to begin? There's a lot of questions of how am I going to exit this dead end. I've written this book to share the message to the world that our endings are also our beginnings. I'd like to share that Life comes with a purpose. It comes in different seasons. And there are seasons that we need to overcome. Ground Zero is not a place for us to stay. It is just a place that we need to pass by. Through this book, through Ground Zero, I'd like to spark light. I'd like to share hope. And I'd like to journey with the readers. You are not alone. We are here to journey with each other. And from Ground Zero, we will journey to a brand new beginning. If this book resonates with you or you know someone who needs to read this book, you can grab your copy first at Shopee. The link is provided at the comment section. You can just click that link and you will be directed to the page. Or you can also search Ground Zero book. Another one is through my social media account. You can follow me through Facebook and Instagram at Shimmering Tala. And
Thank you so much, Shimmering Tala. Up next, Reya describes herself as a totally blind technology geek. She has a degree in computer science and is now working as an IT consultant in the field of digital accessibility. She is also a proud staff of Bookshare, the first and only international accessible and inclusive online library for the print impaired. She is also a blogger, a public speaker, entrepreneur, and simply a lover of life. To sum it all up, Reya is God's faithful servant, gratefully breathing his magnificent love. Reya, come on stage.
Hi, I am Reya Autea. I am a totally blind IT specialist, an entrepreneur, a public speaker, and now, finally, an author. Presenting my first ever book, Gaining Vision Upon Losing My Sight. And I want to thank Ms. Sha Nacino and the entire BWC team for mentoring me in my book writing journey. I wrote this book not only to share my experiences, but also to share or spread awareness that people who are blind like me are not different. Our disability doesn't define our abilities. I also shared a little bit about my lupus and on how functional medicine transformed my health. I also talked about digital accessibility and inclusion. In essence, this book is a story of hope, of healing, of technology and inclusion, and of God's wonderful masterpiece in my life. So I invite each and every one of you to please grab a copy of my book. It's in Amazon, or you could also email me directly or connect with me in all my different social media accounts. Once again, thank you and God bless us all.
Speakers have a wide range of topics, including how to protect your marriage, how to thrive during the pandemic, and how to believe in what you can do. Our first author, Arabella Tear, is a wife and mother. She has an undergraduate degree in economics and a master's degree in business administration. She was employed in government as a business development specialist, an enforcer of business laws, and a mediator. She also has experience in conducting research, feasibility studies, and trainings, and was a former college instructor of economics and entrepreneurship subjects. The author is currently an active lector commentator in her hometown's parish church and at a chapel of Our Lady of Fatima in the city of her birth. Note, to protect the identity of her family, she is using the pen name Arabella Tear for the book Win That War: How a Wronged Wife Can Win Against the Other Woman, a book which she hopes will touch many lives. Arabella, come on down.
Hello everyone. Sha Nacino's statement that you don't have to be a writer to write a book is a call to action for me and for others who would like to be future authors. Like Sha, who writes because she cares and because she has a message to share, I too would like to reach the hearts and minds of persons in relationships and help them resolve their issues and ease their psychological burdens through this book. My book, Win That War: describes the experience of a wronged wife and how she handled the problem of her husband's infidelity through planning and strategy, much like how to approach the enemy and the traitor during war. Without resorting to outright violence and scandalous fights, war can be won through peaceful means. The journey toward healing and recovery is also tackled in this book. As mentor psychologist Candy Mauricio said, this book was written using the psychospiritual approach. Through the modules of the BWC, one was guided in preparing for the book project. The topic, the writer's attitude, organizing puzzle ideas, editing, and other writing elements. The course also discussed the how-tos of publishing a physical book and an e-book, and the how-tos in marketing your book. Most importantly, the encouragement by Misha and team to us aspiring authors makes us confident that we can indeed write, publish, and market the book. My book is available on Amazon as an ebook, so log into your Amazon account and grab a copy. If you happen to log in during promo days, you can get it for free. May I also invite you to make a book review so that I will know what you think about my book. Thank you.
Now let's go to Aurora Villoria Imanaga. Aurora is a documenter, a chemist, a missionary, and a ships and boats collector. She bloomed in a cross-cultural state university in Cabacan, Cotabato, and graduated in Davao City. For 23 years, she worked in 3 Department of Science and Technology institutions as science research specialist. She and her Japanese husband first met on board MV Doulos in Taiwan in 1988. Their family lived in Los Baños, Laguna for 15 years, where their 2 sons attended a multiple intelligence and learning styles alternative school. She promotes Philippines-Japan relations through the Filipino-Japanese descendants community in Davao City. Aurora, welcome!
4 stories inspired me to write my book. The story of Michelle, about Pastor Steve being a quadriplegic, Janina's battle with the congenital condition of the brain, the couple Kuya M and Ate Marilyn, about their remarkable experience as missionaries, as well as Apostle Paul's Damascus Road experience. My first publication, Keeping Up with My Family's Ship and Rainbow Connections, is my family's story with the ship that started in Taiwan in 1988, where my husband and I first met. We were among the 330 volunteers from 35 different countries on board the largest floating book exhibition, MV Doulos. Built in 1914, just 2 years younger than the Titanic, she was recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest active ocean-going passenger ship. She was the second of 4 ships of Operation Mobilization Ships Ministries International, or OM ships, that celebrates its 50th anniversary this whole year of 2021. In the span of 21 years, from 1988 to 2009, Doulos visited the Philippines 13 times. She called on 40 ports in 13 locations all over the country. You must have visited the book exhibition and must have received a pre-book when she came to a port near you. Miss Sha Nacino's 90-day book writing challenge provided a platform for me to finally write my story in my first book. As this book launch coincides with the very week I boarded the Grand Old Lady of the Sea 33 years ago, my faith, hope, and love for the Almighty God and the scriptures is being renewed with this ebook, serving as a marker, a lighthouse for the new voyage in my life as an author. At this stage, my maiden publication is for you may visit my Facebook account, Aurora Imanaga, for sections about my ship and rainbow connections, and for pieces of my ship and boats collection.
Thank you for sharing your story with us, Aurora. To talk about protecting one's marriage, we have Maria Joanna Chu Alado Martinez. Maria Joanna Chu Alado Martinez. Joanna was the Christian Education Director of Northwestern Visayas District Council of Assemblies of God for 7 years. She is a special education teacher by profession, a mother of 2 sons, Jedidiah Paul and John David, and a proud wife of Reverend Patrocinio Martinez Jr. Joanna and her husband are the founding pastors of Word of Life Christian Fellowship in Leganes, Iloilo, and the founder of Keziah Christian School, Inc. in Rojas City, Capiz, Philippines. Together, they live in Rojas City, both serving as lead pastors of Panay Assembly of God for 25 years and counting. Together, they live in Rojas City, both serving as lead pastors of Panay Assembly of God for 25 years and counting. Welcome, Joanna.
Hi, everyone. I am blessed to be here with you today, writing my first book, Protect Your Marriage, and publishing it on Amazon and my website is an amazing experience for me. I used to write my insights from God every day during my quiet time. I write them so I can go back and read them when I want to encourage and remind myself of God's promises in my life. I just love writing them without thinking about writing a book. But during this pandemic, while I worked from home, I saw Sha Nacino's story on Facebook. Her story inspired me, and I have decided to enroll in her 90-day book writing challenge. I like the topic each week because they are concise and very inspiring. I open them to learn again and again. I use them as my guide as I write every day. I was able to polish my book, finally completed, and publish it on my website on May 1, 2021, and Amazon on June 15, 2021. I was so happy that I was able to accomplish it. I am so grateful to Sha Nacino and her team for this opportunity to share my message to the world. Protect Your Marriage is about the 7 important truths revealed to stay married. I was inspired to write this book when I heard a friend say, "It is easy to get married, but it is very hard to stay married." When I heard that, it struck me, and I have realized the threat of the increasing number of broken marriages nowadays. This book will help our couples, especially our struggling women who kept their struggles to themselves because they do not know what to do. Yes, I believe that we women can either break or make our husbands. This book will empower our women to protect their marriage. It will make them realize how powerful they are and use their potential or ability for good and not for evil. It is during this time that we need each other to withstand this global pandemic. It is not the time to part ways when we lose a job or face a crisis in our business and finances due to lockdowns. But this is the time to stick together through thick and thin, till death do us part. This book will also unveil the secrets on how to keep your men. If you want to know how to keep your men, this book is for you. Men, if you're going to have the best wife ever, grab a copy of this book as a gift to her. Become a better wife and husband and enjoy a stronger marriage and survive this COVID-19 pandemic. Praying this book will inspire you and will make you a different person. Protect Your Marriage is now available on Amazon and on joannachu.com. Thank you so much, and may the Lord bless us all.
Thank you, Joanna. We now go to Anita Bergonia Boceta. Tita Anita is a retired college professor at St. Mary's University, SMU of Bayumbong, Nueva Vizcaya. She obtained her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education and Master of Arts in Filipino Language and Literature at the Philippine Normal University, Manila, and her doctorate degree in Educational Management at SMU. Married to German A. Boceta. Married to Herman A. Boceta, she was blessed with 4 children, now all professionals. As teacher and administrator, she became the head of the Filipino Department BEED Intern Supervisor, Director of Community Extension Services Program, and in charge of the International Learning Style Center of the university. At present, she enjoys her daily gratitude routine with her children, grandkids, and church apostolate. Welcome, Tita Anita.
I was inspired by the theme of the 500-year celebration of Christianity in the Philippines, Gifted to Give. My book reveals interesting stories of my life's journey as I value and treasure the gifts of life which made me the person I am today. The gifts of life, wisdom, love, faith, and hope tells me to aim high, make a difference in your life and life of others. Walk an extra mile, pray and be grateful. Know the secret and just do it. Ask, believe, and receive. The 90-day book writing challenge was a therapeutic activity for me during this pandemic. It enhanced my memory and creativity, reviewed my life story, and gained self-confidence. I'm truly grateful to all those who helped me, especially to the generous assistance of my mentor Sha, and inspiration from my children. If you want to be happy, gain success, and self-fulfillment for the rest of your life, I invite you to have a soft copy of my ebook online and hard copy at reasonable price. It's simple and easy to read. This book is for young and old, from all walks of life, and it's a perfect gift for all occasions. In honor of our patron saint, Saint Dominic de Guzman, whose feast will be on August 8th, I'm giving an ebook for the first 50 subscribers as a gift. Just email me at bosetaanita@gmail.com. For the printed copies, I'm giving a promo price of only 299 pesos. In memory of my late husband, part of the proceeds shall go to the Herman A. Boseta Scholarship Foundation for poor but deserving students of St. Mary's University. This book is a legacy to my children, Gigi, Emmanuel, Angela, and Kristen, and all brothers and sisters in the world. What we are is a gift from God. What we become is our gift to God. We are all gifted to give. Read my book and see the magic of these gifts in your life. Thank you and have a good day. I am Anita Bergonia Boseta.
That was an inspiring message to help us give more of ourselves. Thank you so much, Tita Anita. Our next author is a public sector employee. Serving the public has been his bread and butter for more than 2 decades. Through his book, he shares his thoughts and lessons learned on relationships and marriage. Vermin Espalado Jr. Come on stage.
Hello everyone! I hope each of us is safe at this moment. Lifetime partner, lifetime gift. This is my own love story, my treasure, and my message to everyone. To all lovers out there, please give this a try. Precious thoughts from personal experiences. I have done this out of my enthusiasm to share something to everyone. I consider this a gift to all interested readers. I am giving out my own self to you. Actually, this gift is simple and short, but full of nourishing ideas that will surely help couples. This is an important gift to all couples who would like to level up their love to a more serious one. And this may also a good way to remind to all married couples of their promises during their marriage. And to all singles out there, this can be a good reading material. You may try this in your book collection, and this is in preparation for the best part of life, that is in receiving the grace of matrimony. This one might be of help. Everyone has unique love stories, but all of our stories have only one author. It is Him, our eternal God. And it is my opportunity to share my own love story along with the message graced by God. So it is my pleasure if you could grab a copy of my book, Lifetime Partner, Lifetime Gift. My first ever book written in my whole life. And this is because of Wright University. Yes, thank you so much, Wright University, for this rare opportunity. Thank you, thank you.
That was great, Vermin! To talk about how to achieve our goals, we have our next author, Nancy M. Aduka. To talk about how to achieve our goals, we have our next author, Nancy M. Aduka. Nancy, the author of Imagine It, Believe It, is an educational leader by day and a writer by night. She took her bachelor's in elementary education at Philippine Normal University, North Luzon, where she graduated as a leadership awardee. She is a school head, a research and journalism advocate, and an outstanding master teacher awardee at Legislative District 5 Schools Division Office of Isabela. She also serves as trainer speaker at the Girl Scouts of the Philippines Northern Luzon chapter. Nancy believes that books can change the world, and she uses it to inspire and empower young people. You can visit her at https://www.facebook.com/nancy.milandres.1. Nancy, please come on stage.
Greetings of love, peace, and joy. I noticed that I have been doing some things habitually through the years that have guided and led me to my success. So I put pen to paper. I was inspired by the world I see around me, my untold stories, my desire to communicate, my desire to show off, my desire to help people, my desire to work for something out for myself, and that I want to leave something behind, a body of work that is respected. I wanted to leave a legacy. My book titled Imagine It, Believe It will show you 3 powerful steps on how to become successful in life. It is the best meal to serve every financially struggling high school graduating student. Also, for the people who wanted to start afresh and wonderful new stories of their lives. For those who wanted to live their goals amazingly and wonderfully. And for everyone who would like to become successful even if they think it is impossible and even if others think barely of them. I love to make things simple. These 3 steps offered in my book, Imagine It, Believe It, are very doable and straightforward, yet extremely powerful. At any rate, may I humbly express my enormous debt of gratitude to Miss Sha Nacino, the founder of Wright University, who have helped me learn and practice both the art and science of writing a book with a heart, for believing in me that I have a story to share to the world. This book wouldn't have been possible without her 90-day book writing challenge. Oh, I couldn't believe it, that I have managed to write, complete, and even publish and launch a book in just 3 months. It is only because I religiously followed and 100% believed and trusted Miss Sha Nacino's perfect system of writing a book through her 90-day book writing challenge. Here's the deal of the day. Grab a free copy of my ebook. Yeah, you heard it right. It's all for free. Just email me via bookimagineitbelieveit@gmail.com. I repeat, bookimagineitbelieveit@gmail.com. Starting right now, up to 12 o'clock midnight. Carry on. Be successful. Not later, not tomorrow, but at this very moment in time. Take the action now. I wish you VCG, victory, contentment, and joy, and I am with you in prayer. May God bless you beyond measure and beyond your expectations. Enjoy!
Mila, fondly called Nanny by family and close family friends, is a survivor. A miracle baby from the time she was born and survived 6 months in an incubator. From childhood through adulthood, she battled with asthma, pneumonia, kidney disease, and recently, retinal vein occlusion has left her with one eye functioning well. God has been her anchor, strength, and provider. She has survived many trials, and she is a survivor because she has God. Let's welcome Mila Grossberkin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in the 90-day book writing challenge book launch. In 2020, our world was shaken because of COVID-19 pandemic. It was also during the time when I experienced one of the biggest trials in my life so far. Amidst the pandemic, I was diagnosed with retinal vein occlusion. But it was also during that time when an opportunity that I cannot pass off came. It was Miss Sha Nacino's 90-day book writing course. I read the Facebook ad, and despite what I was experiencing, I grabbed the opportunity to enroll in the course. It was difficult and a challenge for somebody who reads a lot and writes on a regular basis to only use one eye. But the story of Helen Keller, her life has encouraged me to go on because Helen Keller was able to write 14 books despite being totally blind. I said, I'm just partially blind. And Nightbird, who was able to sing in front of millions of people who has cancer, is, she said, 2%. It's her chances of survival is 2%, but that is still 2%. I have 50% vision, and that is still 50%. So I decided to pursue my dream of writing a book. And this book I'm going to share with you right now. And it's part of this launching. I call it the 5 F's to balance and pandemic proof life. I wrote this book with passion and with love, with all that I have experienced and looking at the brighter side of life. One thing and number one on the list as F is faith, which has helped me through everything during this pandemic and even on the health crisis I'm in. And if you want to find out the other F's that I have written about, which I hope most of you can also relate, you may grab a copy of my book, 5 F's to a Balanced and Pandemic Proof Life, on my FB page, MIB Collection, which stands for My Insights Book Collection, or through the email address milaibarkin@gmail.com. Thank you very much. From the seafood capital of the Philippines, Roa City, Capiz. Madamo gid nga salamat. God bless us all.
Thank you, Mila, for sharing your experience during the pandemic with us.
And that was the last batch of our authors. Congratulations to all our graduates, all our 19 graduates. And thank you to all those who are here and there in the comments down below for showing your support to them. And at this point, we'd like to announce the winners of our two games. So the first one I'm going to announce are the winners who shared the live feed of our Filipino Author Summit this afternoon. So there's going to be 5 winners, and they're all going to win the Money and Me book of Sha Nacino. And the winners are Domingo Jovelin, Rosana Caro Tobias, Bernadette Gonzaga Seminiano, Alemark Pabines, and Norny Mix. Congratulations to the 5 of you. And for our grand prize, for those who shared their photos watching this Filipino Author Summit, our grand prize winner of the full scholarship of Sha Nacino's 90-day book writing challenge is Efficiani Francisco. Wow! Congratulations, Efficiani. So you're going to join us soon in the 90-day book writing challenge. So our team will see you very, very soon. And that's it. So we hope you enjoyed our games, and we hope to see you again in our next events.
Okay, so on behalf of the whole team at Wright University, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining. My heart is so happy right now. I want to thank you. Yes, you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for investing in yourself. Thank you for carving out that time to really nourish yourself, nourish your personal development by attending the Filipino Authors Summit. So thank you. Thank you for being here. The next group of people that I'd like to thank are the authors, the graduates of the 90-day book writing challenge. Thank you for writing your books. Thank you for sharing your story to the world. And most of all, I'd like to personally thank you for trusting me to be your coach and to journey with you in writing your book. Next, I'd like to thank all our panel speakers, Sir Rex Mendoza, Attorney Alex Lacson, Mami Myrna, Mami N Natividad. They are giants in their respective profession and they're very busy. But they made time for us. They made time for us, and it brings me so much joy to know that we are well supported. If you have that dream in you, if you have a book that you want to write, or if you have a dream that you want to accomplish, always remember that there are always people who are willing to help you make your dreams come true. But like what the example of our champion, Heidelin Diaz, showed, you have to be willing to pay the price. What price are you willing to pay for you to be able to achieve your dreams? What sacrifices can you do? And this could mean, what books do you need to start reading? Who are the mentors you need to listen to? What videos do you need to start watching? What podcasts do you need to start listening to? Or what online courses do you need to enroll in? If you feel that the 90-day book writing challenge can help you in your journey in writing your book, then I'd like to encourage you, or I'd like to invite you to join us at the 90-day book writing challenge. So my team will put the link in the comment section, so you can just click that link and know more about the 90-day book writing challenge. And of course, I'd like to thank the team, my team, the team behind the Filipino Authors Summit, my Wright University team, who are working so hard behind the scenes. I'd like to thank Clarice, Kim, Kat, and Eunice. So you saw Kat a while ago because she moderated the panel and she also led the games. You saw Eunice because she led the opening prayer a while ago through a song. I think you haven't seen Clarice and Kim yet. This is our promise for you. We are coming up with more events like this, with more world-class events like this. And just a few days ago, we were having a meeting, my team and I were having a meeting, and I shared with them a vision that I have for another group of people that we would like to minister next at Wright University. And in the next event that we'll be doing, you'll have the privilege to see Clarice and Kim. All right, so there, I want to thank my team. I also want to personally thank my brother, March. My brother March. He's my consultant. He's our consultant when it comes to online webinars. So thank you, March. And of course, Facebook ads. Thank you so much. So many of you are here because maybe you saw our ads, our Facebook ads, and that is thanks to my brother, March. The last group of people that I'd like to thank is my family. I'm so grateful for my family. I'm able to do what I do because I know I am well loved. I have a family who loves me, and I have a family who I really, really love. So special thanks to my papa, my brother March, my little sister Abby, and my little brother Kyle, and of course my sister in heaven Lynn, and my mama in heaven Mama, and of course Tita. So I want to thank my family. Um, Personally, I'm so grateful to have a father, a papa who is so loving and responsible. And I think one of the reasons why I feel secure in who I am, even if I'm still single in my 30s, is because I know I am well loved, and that is thanks to my parents, thanks to my papa. So there, thank you for joining us. I hope to see you in our next events, and thank you to everyone who posted their selfies in their social media accounts. We will look at all your selfies and we will include them in the video highlights, which we'll publish in Sha Nacino YouTube channel and also in this page. So watch out for it. Whew. And the last thing I'd like to share is this. Always remember that you are loved. You are so loved. And sometimes maybe we forget that. We forget that we are so loved because we've been bombarded by the things we hear from social media, from the media. We forget how beautiful and lovable we are. Last week, our message is that you are so lovable and you are so beautiful. If you're a guy, you are gorgeous. Today, our message is still the same. And at the same time, I want to remind you that you are so loved by the one who created you. So whenever you feel insecure, whenever you doubt yourself, or whenever you feel bad about yourself, about who you are, always remember that there is someone who loves you like crazy. There is someone who is so interested in you, in the little things about you, in the big things about you, who is interested in what you're thinking, in your dreams, in petty things, etc. You just need to connect with him. He's always waiting. And I'm talking about God, who makes all things possible. So I'm about to end my closing remarks, and I want to leave you with my second music video. So we'll play it for you again. I think the others were not able to catch it earlier during the start of the program. So we will play my second music video entitled Umagang Kay Ganda. It means beautiful morning. And I hope you'll always remember that a new day gives new hope and joy. All right? So we're now ready to show you our music video. If you know the song, please feel free to sing along with me. And you can also share this via your social media. Enjoy the song.
Halika na, umikit limutin ang problema. Hihintayin ang umaga. Haharapin natin. Gumising na, araw ng pag-asa'y narito na. Dumating din, haharapin natin. Oh, basta tayo'y magkasama. Laging mayroong umagang kay ganda. Magsikat na araw, may dalang liwanag sa ating pangarap. Haharapin natin ang sikat ng araw na may dalang liwanag. Gumising na, araw ng pag-asa'y narito na. Dumating din, haharapin natin. Basta tayo'y magkasama. Laging mayroong umagang kay ganda. Pagsikat ng araw, may dalang liwanag sa ating pangarap. Haharapin natin. Haharapin natin.
For being with us this afternoon. Thank you, Ariel Gozon, to all our panel speakers, Attorney Alex Lacson, Sir Rex Mendoza, and Mommy N, for generously sharing their time and insights with us today. Thank you to all our viewers, especially the family and friends who supported our Filipino Author Summit. Have a great weekend.